Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Idea Studio. I'm Dana. Jib is at school today, but I am joined by the always surprised Suburban Beard. What's up, Josh?
What am I doing here? What happened? I thought it was just some friends hanging out.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
What is shaking, everybody? What's up, YouTubes? We are live from Cleveland. We're
very live from very Cleveland.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow like tomorrow or Thursday. So
is it really?
Yeah, like, dude, I was so annoyed. Like, let's see, right now it's like 18 degrees right now, right? So, but they're saying it's supposed to be -3 on Thursday.
-3.
And that's in, actual terms of Celsius. So, yeah. But yeah, right now it's glorious. It was beautiful outside today. That's why, went walking with Stu and running around, did some videoing. And
nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, tomorrow a low of -2, Thursday a low of -3, and then 6 on Friday if we're lucky.
Nice. So I see real quick, we got Amazaki and Bodo in the chat from my homie from Indonesia there. We got your Mojo, Joe P out in Florida's.
What's up, your Mojo? And, I got so confused when I saw your Mojo the other day. I'm like, wait, is that Joe P or is this another person named Joe?
And we got Gotta Love Thailand out there in Surrey, and Dave with the house build. Born Nomad Productions. Chris, what's going on, man? Is afternoon in Australia already? Josh with the black cock.
Always have Thailand nearby.
It's Josh's favorite piece of Thailand.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, it was good. It tasted good, as weird as that is.
Hey Patrick, what's going on, man? From Texas. So yeah, Josh and I talked about this on one of the other live streams. Josh and I, for the past 2 weeks now, have been doing trying to do 10,000 steps a day. And I know Josh has fallen short a few times.
Many a few times.
I missed one time, the day I had food poisoning. I had liquid spewing out both ends. Not great. Not a good look. But I wanted to like do this and just kind of talk about an update and talk about like where we're at with it, because I'm planning to do the 30 days and we're going to do a premiere, like a little mini documentary about the actual process, and I'm talking to some experts and getting some other opinions and things like that. So I thought it would be cool to just do.
Right.
And so Josh, how have you been feeling? You're 2 weeks in.
So
have you noticed anything?
There's two parts to it, right? So before we started the challenge is when I had, finally went to the doctor about like my hip issues, everything else. And then I had started physical therapy. So it's kind of a twofer deal, right? Like when I told my physical therapist, like, oh yeah, we're doing a 30-day challenge, 10,000 steps a day. He's like, what? Like, are you sure? And like, listen, a couple of years ago, like that was the only benefit of working for Cox is, like, the amount of walking I did, going to these properties, doing all this stuff I was doing, outside sales, retail, like 15,000 steps was no big deal. And that's been my biggest hurdle of like, listen, today, like I just told you a couple minutes ago, today I was like, yeah, Stu and I, we walked around 2-3 hours hitting all these stores, walking around plazas. Like I barely hit 7,000 steps. And it's like, it could be recording, I've got I'm old school, right? I like the Pebble watch, but I've got 2 phones, all this stuff's recording and I'm still not hitting the, the number every day.
He's even adding those numbers together. He's not hitting it.
Right. What's that? One phone's 6,800. The other phone's 7,200 steps. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's part of the process, right? Is judging like how far you're going. Like I see Joe post here. Joe and I have been talking about this, going back and forth. He's at almost 16,000 today.
Wow, that's awesome.
He does like a 10K in the morning. Goes and walks a 10K before he even gets going. Dave from Surin, he's a few less than Joe.
3. A couple of just a few. Just a little bit. Just a tip.
Well, just a tip. So I've been like, I'll go through my numbers real quick. I got my security cam open on my phone because my neighbor's been putting his laundry in front of my plants and blocking the sun.
What?
So yeah, I asked him once not to do it. He did it again. And so yesterday I sprayed his clothes down with my hose and I threw them in the shade in front of his house. And so if it happens today, he might get clapped. I don't know. It's very possible.
Exactly.
But so I'm looking at my I've had the last 19 days I've hit a streak, but that includes the one day, they call it a rest day, that I didn't make it. The day that I had food poisoning, I only had 1,600. But so for perspective, yesterday and the day before I was in the 12,000 range. The day before that, 17,000. And then I had a couple days like 11, 10, 13, 10, 14, 10, 12. Right. So I'm easily getting over that 10 mark every day.
Right.
But it is it's the days that I'm really pushing myself that I'm going like 15, 17, or like I'll like today after we get off live at like 11, like a plan to do a couple hours. We plan to go. I'm gonna go film all day, and then Jib's bringing some stuff home from school, so I'm gonna meet her at the palace. I'll probably easily be over 15 today, no problem.
Right.
But the reality is the first week really sucked for me. Right, because I haven't been too active like leading up to this. I would do like bicep curls in the studio. I've got some dumbbells. I'd swing my kettlebell a bit, but I wasn't really moving a lot. And that was a big reason that when you and I talked about this, that was a big reason going into it, is like my lack of kind of just mobility and activity, where all I was doing was lifting. I was like, I really want to push this and, try to get a little bit more active and do a little bit more exercise. And the first week I was definitely feeling it. I was sore, my hips hurt, my back hurt, and I was like pushing myself to hit that 10K. I hadn't found like a groove yet.
Right.
And now I'm at the point where my body, even if I do 17,000, my body recovers really well. I stretch. It's not bad at all for me. But the key is that I just have to keep doing it. I think if I were to skip a day, I'd be done. Like I skip a day, I skip 10.
Yeah, one day doesn't make that difference. And my biggest struggle has been finding that medium, because there'll be days I go like, maybe it's because I'm thinking about too much, but like there's two sides of it, right? Like there's the day I went with the wife, we ran out, we were doing errands, and I mean we were probably out 4 to 6 hours shopping, walking around. We even went for a walk. I had no phone on me. I didn't wear my watch that day. You know what I mean? So that doesn't get tracked. Like I think I told
Apple
you, like
Watch, Josh, Apple Watch.
It doesn't matter what watch I'm wearing if I don't put it on. But like, and then like the other day, I think I told you, like, I have an hour physical therapy session every week, and I forget to wear my watch, and I'm not carrying my phones around while I'm doing it. So some of it gets missed here and there, but I know I'm not hitting it, right? Because I think my average right now, since the 15th, I think 15th is when we started, right? That Monday was our official.
Yeah, 15th, was the official thing.
So between the walking and making sure I'm being cognizant of it, like the other night, you did the same thing. I think we were like, even though you're in the future 12 hours, like it's, I went out and tried to make the effort to make those extra steps. But I noticed, I think, physical therapy helps and doing the exercises, but the amount of effort I've been putting into the steps, like my hip hasn't hurt walking up the stairs in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So again, therapy has something to do with it, right? They're having me do specific things to do that. But even with stretching and stuff like that, I think it's just the amount of steps that I'm doing and making sure I'm getting those steps in. Cause I think right now I'm average somewhere around like 6,200. And there was I don't remember if it was 3 or I'll have to dig in my numbers, but like 3 or 4 days I didn't move because that's when he stabbed that needle in and jabbed my muscle. And I was like, I couldn't move,
Yeah. No, I've had a few days where I came home, I was at like 9,600, and I'm just like walking laps around the studio to try and get myself moving.
You're crocheting in a circle.
Yeah. So the other thing I'm doing is to try to fight, because I sit down. I know like a lot of the guys here are working remotely or working on the computer all day. Like Chris is working on a computer doing editing. Joe does trading. So these guys are kind of in the same barrel. And what I've been doing is every hour, for the most part, I try to stand up, stretch my hips out, and and get some movement, and just trying to move my body and make sure that my back isn't getting too compressed, and that's really working for me as well, keeping me from being too stiff. Whereas like if I were to sit here for like 8 hours and just blast away on an edit or do writing for 8 hours, I would be in a world of hurt. And so, you know, getting up every hour, just moving a little bit, even if I just walk 100 steps around the studio, like do a couple of laps, I feel worlds better.
Yeah. No,
You know,
absolutely.
that 100 steps, you know, it doesn't amount to the 10K for the day, but you know, by the end of the day, maybe I chip away 500-600 steps,
Right.
you know, and I stretch the hips out and I move a little bit, and that gets me moving in the right direction, and I feel good. And I think that's what's really important.
And those are the little steps I've taken, because, you know, I do the eBay stuff. So like what happens usually in the morning, I get my coffee. You know how we are about our coffee. Yep. So, you know, we get our coffee. I sit down, got to hit the coffee. And, you know, and then I'm going through my email, going through eBay. And so what I used to do when I do my eBay orders, I'd sit down, you know, it could be 10 to 30 a day, you know, give or take. But I'd sit down, you know, I'd sit in my chair with my coffee and, you know, okay, let's print these out, go this out. Oh, I might have to measure that later. And then I take my labels over, pull my stuff and pack it up. But what I've started doing to make a concerted effort is, okay, let's say I have 10 orders. I see the first one. I get up, I go get it. I get it off the shelf. I box it up. I weigh it. I come back over. I print out a label. Each one, I'm now making myself move for each item to make sure that, you know, every little step I can get
in. Yeah. No, and Chris says, you know, like moving and looking away from the monitors at least every 30 minutes are key for him. And real quick, Joe, thank you for the coffee. I just saw that pop up. I wish StreamYard had the integration that would pop up when someone does the buy me a coffee. I saw that I think LiveStream does that, and so I'm thinking of actually switching when my contract is up with StreamYard to LiveStream.
I haven't. What did you think about LiveStream? I haven't used it yet.
LiveStream, light LITE stream or LIG. I haven't used it, but I saw that there's integrations there.
That's
so
nice.
I might do like a month and just play around with it and see what I think, but it's about the same price. I think it's like $2 a month more.
Okay.
Oh, snap. Super chat from Manny the Mannequin. Thank you,
Manny, stop it in. Yeah, now that you actually have super chat, you know.
Yeah, my first super chat. Thank you, Manny the Mannequin.
Not many people. Actually, you're the first person I think Manny's ever donated money to.
It's not donating, it's showing appreciation.
Right, exactly. It's applauding you in your efforts.
But what are you doing? Like, I know you have some long edits because you're doing a bunch of videos a week as well. So are you standing up and moving around during the edit, or do you get kind of sucked in?
Absolutely not. I get so into my edit that I literally dive in and sit there. My part, so there's two parts to it, right? So within the effort of quitting smoking, it's always been, once I accomplished a task, I'd stop, I'd go have a cigarette, have a break, and do something else. And so I try to prevent myself from stopping too much, because then I'm like, oh, I finished this, I can go have a smoke now, right? So I'm trying to break the habit of it. And so now I need to be like, oh, look, I finished something, let's go for a walk, right?
Yeah.
I stare at the monitors too long when I'm editing. I always do. It's so hard for me to break that, because I don't want to sit there and just like, because I'll chain smoke while I'm sitting here editing if I'm not careful with what I'm doing, honestly, you know. But
Joe, thank you for the super sticker as well. Appreciate it.
Rock on, Joe.
My mojo.
But I do agree with Chris. I mean, making sure you look.
One tutorial, man. How you doing? Glad to have you here today from the UK. It's my Thai subscriber from the UK. I love this dude. Super active on Twitter. And actually, I saw him on your Twitter profile. You said that you're really into literature. So I'd be interested to see if you tweet about any of the literature that you're into. So with the edit, Josh, I mean, like I'm kind of the same way. Like I'll sit here for like hours, or I used to, right? Like I would get down, especially with this setup with my double wad monitor and my secondary. I could sit here on Final Cut and just bang away at like tweaking an edit for like 6-7 hours if I was working on something, and just lose track of time and just sit the whole time, like never get up. I put my glass of water or my coffee next to me, I just go.
Yeah.
But what would happen, I'd get up and my legs would be stiff, right? They don't feel good, they'd be swollen. And with this, the 10K steps a day, like that's really gone away. With the standing up every hour, that has gone away, right? All these things have kind of really died down. So I'm at the point where, I'm super loose. I'm feeling much better, and I feel like the edits are actually going a lot quicker as well, because I'm not just sort of grinding on it for
Right.
hours at a time.
No, and that's the biggest part. Like I mean, obviously my video edits are a lot quicker because of what I do. But what happens is, like, so my edits aren't horrible, but it's when I get into the, I've got 30 different pictures that need to have titles and everything else with what I do on my channel, that I dig in and I just keep going. But that is, so since I've been walking, and we'll throw in physical therapy, but that would be the difference, right? I'd sit out here and edit for 2-3 hours, and then I'd go try to walk up the stairs and it hurt, So having that change of at least stopping at some point or doing other things is making a difference. It's the editing is my big thing right now that I need to. Yeah. But instead of sitting and messaging you while you're editing, I'm like, oh, I'll sit here too. Dana's sitting, I'm going to sit.
yeah, no doubt. And then, because I'm a night owl, so I'll be up at like midnight, 1 a.m. and you'll be
4.
working on sometimes 4. And we'll be pinging each other back and forth,
right?
And sometimes like I'll realize, like, if it's 4 a.m. sometimes I've been sitting for like 8 hours. I'm like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah,
right. I can't be doing this, especially because Jib will go to bed early because she wakes up to go to the palace to go to school.
Yeah,
and that leaves me just kind of like out here, like just sort of working, grinding away, and not realizing the time. Oh, Dave's going over to the house. Hey, looking forward to the next video, Dave.
Absolutely.
Dude, he's building a house out in Thailand. I'm so I love the series he's doing. Like, actually, while they're building, he's going there and filming it. Really cool stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, so with the steps, I mean, I know you haven't hit it every day. You've been struggling, but that's part of the process here as well.
Right.
Now, I talked about on one of the other videos, after this, I plan to do 20,000 a day for a week. So I'm going to double it. I'm going to go 7 days, and I'll do another video about that. But the ultimate goal is, I've got this route. I showed you the route planned through Bangkok, 50 kilometers. I'm going to do it in 1 day.
Dude, I'm so excited about that.
From north to south. And and I want to get that to the point where, like, I want to be at the point where I can do that no problem, and just kind of get through and really, really make a good video about, like, all the layers and texture of Bangkok as a city through that perspective of walking. And I think that that's important. And this is kind of helped me get, like, again, like cardio fitness wise. And this is actually funny. My Apple Watch shows me it estimates your cardio fitness through your VO2 max.
Right.
And it's been going down every day that I've been exercising. So I don't know what's going on. So, like, I'll do these long walks, and it's like, oh, your VO2 max is worse today than it was yesterday.
Right. Like...
but ultimately, right, like, so the 50K thing is a big challenge, like a marker set ahead of me. And obviously competing with the temperature, it's been crazy hot here at the moment. So that's been an interesting part of it. And, putting this whole, like, kind of 1 month thing together, filming it. I'm hopefully going to be talking to Tony Huge about, like, his thoughts on, like, the daily exercise thing this week. I'm trying to get a few other experts involved as well, so we have some different content in the video, and do some different perspectives. But moving in that direction of the 20K a day for a week, I think that's going to be challenging. Joe does. I was talking to Joe. He actually surpasses 20 some days. He's usually at, like, the 18 mark, and then there's days he pushes past 20. For me, the 20 is like really difficult. Like I said, I get to 17 and I do feel hammered when I get home if I do 17, 18.
Right.
Those are the days my feet are killing me, my legs hurt, like my back hurts. It's rough.
And that's what I want to do. Like, that's been my biggest struggle. Like, you can't blame everything on the weather, but there's the times when I'm like, okay, like, I want to try and at least make up, like, at least do like 2,000 more than I did the day before. Right. And, like, get at least in that, like, okay, I'll do 1,000 more or whatever. And then I wake up and it's pouring rain. It's, 12 degrees outside. It's snowing, right?
Here's the thing too. Like for me, I can go out and like if it's hot, I just go like early in the morning or late at night. Right. For you, if it's like below freezing, it's like always it's all day. It's gonna be below freezing. It doesn't get warmer at night.
Right. But it's like that's what I did last week though. I think that was that day I hit like 12 or 14,000 steps, and it was because I knew like it was cold out and I wanted to get some content. So I hit like 12 different stores, and so I found a place to walk, right?
Walking like the old man that you are. you got your Velcro shoes on.
Dude, I got my New Balance and my jorts. I'm ready to go. All white, baby.
I imagine I must look like an absolute idiot when I'm out walking. I have the special exercise suspenders I wear with my workout shorts, and they're all high-waisted shorts. So I'm out there wearing high-water basketball shorts with suspenders and a Camelback, walking through Bangkok. I've got a loop I do.
Occasionally a bandana.
Yeah, I always wear a bandana when I walk.
Oh, okay.
Because I sweat like crazy. I need to keep it out of my eyes. But I get out there and I just hit the loops and moving through. It works. But I've got this one route I do from Bangkok over through An Nut and back to Bangkok. And I've got an extended route I do where I walk almost all the way down to Lakrabang, which is the province south of here. And it's fun, but there's definitely some sketchy parts as well.
Like, well, some of those Kalongs you go down, that's how you say it, but like some of those are scary, man. Like the one you went on it wasn't even as wide as you, and people are riding scooters down it. I'm like, what's wrong with these people?
that one is crazy. Like, and I'll tell you, I'm sure you saw where I crossed the beams,
right? Which is even freakier.
So Jib doesn't always watch the videos, right? Sometimes she'll always put it on, she'll listen, especially when I talk about design stuff. But like she doesn't always watch it. And then she watched that one. She's like, at one point, she stands up at the other side of the desk. She's like, "The fuck is wrong with you? Crossing the clog." She's like, "What happens if you fall in that water? You die. That's what happens.
You die."
Like, it's milky green looking water. You die.
Right. Dude, so your mojo's lying to all of us. I just sit and wave my arm all day. oh, my steps. They're going up. Oh, yeah.
I saw a great joke where this guy, it was a meme. He goes, according to my Apple Watch, I've jerked off 8 kilometers today.
Got 32 heart points.
I'll tell you, one of the biggest benefits I've seen, though, my resting heart rate has dropped by like 16 beats per minute.
That's awesome.
Now, obviously, I mean, a big part of that is I was drastically out of shape from a cardiovascular perspective, right? You don't get in good cardio shape by doing curls all day. As much as I would like to think so, it does nothing for me. So my heart rate's dropped, my resting heart rate's dropped tremendously, and my recovering heart rate has improved drastically as well. Now, when I go out and walk, I really try to push myself and keep a good pace, and my heart rate gets up to like 144 to 148 while I'm like at the peak of my walk. And then it'll drop down to like the low hundreds, high 90s pretty quick. And then it'll get back into the 80s or 70s, fairly fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine jumps around sometimes. I think just depending on situation, what I'm doing, where I'm going. But that's like I'll fully be like, I know I don't like my watch. Like I love the Pebble watch for what it does, but not for the workout side. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't do, because it doesn't even take a heartbeat.
No, really, the Pebble watch doesn't. I thought you said it was the greatest watch ever made.
It is for a watch. Like I love the notifications, the integration to it, everything else. So I
want to throw this out real quick. Joe's going to be on Savvy. Josh was previously a winner on Savvy.
Yeah.
He's doing the finals this Friday. So if you guys can have his back, help him out with some secret questions, some secret answers, that would be good.
No, Savvy's team in France will ban you.
No, I know you have your issues with.
I have no issues with him. He blocked me for no apparent reason.
But yeah, let's get Savvy's back. Let's get Joe's back on Savvy. You guys know Josh beat me on Savvy Show. There's some story behind that, but yeah.
You know, we'll work it
fun.
out. We'll work it out and make it work.
No, it worked out. It worked out the way we planned.
Right, it did. It did. I just want to plan it again for you.
actually, it worked out even better because you didn't even go to the finals.
No, I did. That was the finals.
No, we ended up being the final, but the guy never showed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the other guy never showed up. That's right.
Yeah. So you ran away with it. Hey, Deborah William Bus, how's it going? Good evening. It's a morning here, but evening back in the States. Yeah. Buying space.
There you go. It was the Stu said it was all the skiing questions that the beard took advantage of. We're going skiing.
It's all the it was all those wrong Star Wars questions.
Yeah, right. Like every other question. But yeah, we won't go down that road. So,
but yeah, guys, if you can be there to support your mojo on Friday, please do. Like, he's one of ours, so let's get out there and help him win. But yeah, man, have you noticed? So you don't get heart rate. You have no way to track your heart rate.
Actually, I take that back. The Pebble the Pebble does do heart rate. It does the flashing. So no, because I was looking at the other day when we were walking and I was walking a little fast, like hiking through thing. So I take that back. It does do heart rate. You know what I'm thinking of? I forget what watch I had. I had a different watch at some point that would give me my O2 sensor.
Yeah.
No, it was on my phone, actually. My phone, it had the unlock button was also a health meter. You could put your finger on. And it would tell me. It was actually pretty. I think it was an LG. It was like all built in.
So I can do the EKG or the ECG, they call it on my phone, on my watch. So electrocardiogram.
Right.
But that only tells you if you have a sinus rhythm or something else.
Right.
Which it's kind of cool, but it also a bit pointless. I've also got a high heart rate monitor, which tells you if your heart rate spikes over like 120 without exercising. Which the only time it's done that is when Eric Minority Nomad gave me those edibles that he told me were 5 milligrams, and clearly was not, because I thought I was dying.
They were 105, bro. 105.
Yeah, he's like, your heart rate is spiking. I'm like, oh my god, Eric gave me some crazy shit. I'm gonna die.
I'm trying to find it. I think it's
what if Dana, you live too close to Soy Cowboy to have back permission? No, I'm not that close. I'm like 6 kilometers away. 6 kilometers. I will be on my 50-kilometer walk through Bangkok, though. I will cross through Cowboy if I get there early enough. I don't want to go through at night. So, like, here's the thing, and like you guys might have seen this. I think it was my tongue loaded prom pong video where I walked down one of the soys, and there was a bunch of there was a bunch of massage shops, and like some of the girls started to cover their face, and I didn't realize that soy had all these shops. So I turned around and walked out. Like, I don't want a channel that tries to go out and exploit and show like red light districts and stuff like this, and like, ooh, wow, red light. Everyone knows it exists. To me, Soy Cowboy is a lot more interesting at lunchtime when it's a lunch market.
That's awesome.
Like, there's 1,000 other channels out there that will show you it at nighttime or have like hidden cams. And to me, like, you're just exposing, like, I'm sure those girls don't want to be on video working outside a club in their bikini or hanging outside a massage parlor. But if I get there early enough, because that's like towards the end of my walk, so if there's still daylight and I don't think there's going to be anything set up on Cowboy, I will walk down there. But if not, then I'll just continue down down Sukhumvit.
There you go. Okay, that makes sense. Then.
Buying space, as you heard, Manny had a wood chipper accident.
Yeah, actually, so I'll tell you the story. Manny was outside all winter as Buddy the Elf. And at some point there was a ton of freezing rain, crazy wind, everything, and he had survived most of it, but then eventually he crashed and his head fell off and it cracked his face. And so I set him somewhere to repair him. and I have no idea where he is now. His head. Yeah, I mean, he is. He's there at the front garage with the Sears man waving, but I have no idea where his head actually is.
I have a bunch of headless dancing mannequins in the studio.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what happened to your camera there,
dude? $10 China special. Hold on.
Deborah says if she had all these monitors, her doctor would have a nightmare. I'll tell you what, the amount of data, if you have an iPhone, especially the health app in the iPhone, I'm sure Android has something similar, but the way it stores all your data is really fantastic. Yeah, I'm sitting on the couch, 80 and resting of 67, and yet it says in fat burn, stupid algorithms. Oh, you flash back for a second.
Yeah.
I saw Joe posted his resting heart rate. Did I lose that?
Dude, I have a different watch. I'm not even wearing it. It says it's 142. I'm dying. I'm not even attached. Well,
Poverty DJ says he's all about the meat market. I think he's about that sausage.
All right, hey, I'm gonna hop out for 2 seconds and then add me back in.
All right, man, no problem. No, I don't get pulse ox on my watch. Do you have it on yours, Joe? Do you have one of the newer ones? I'm not even sure if the newer Apple Watches do pulse ox or not. I know that you can get like a separate monitor. I saw something on Lazada that was a pulse ox that I was interested in getting, but I have not yet invested in it. I have a blood pressure cuff that I also have. Blood pressure cuff that I have. I check my blood pressure daily, and my blood pressure has actually dropped significantly since we started the 30-day 10K steps. So I'm super happy about that as well. We got the beard back. Boom.
Yeah, dude, it was. I attached it's just hanging. I broke the pin, so that's why I'm wearing the Pebble. But it was up to like 142, and now it's back down to 90. I stood up.
You're having heart issues,
right?
Hey, Unseen Thailand, Chiang Mai. How's it going, man?
What's going on? No, but I found new pins. The Fitbit is a lot better than the Pebble. I fully admit. I love the interface of the Pebble and everything else. But
Joe's watch isn't an Apple Watch. I thought it was. Thought it was an Apple Watch.
Yeah, not everybody wastes their money.
So if any of you guys do have Apple Watch and you're out there, you want to enter in like a challenge for steps, feel free to like hit me up, send me an email or message me, and we can get that done. Oh, here we go. Deborah says her sister has pulse ox that if it drops, it sets off an alert on her phone. Yeah, I mean, so I think your pulse ox is supposed to be like at 97. Like it's supposed to be pretty high. Otherwise, yeah, like really not good results.
You can raise it very quickly too with breathing. That's what I learned.
Well, one tutorial saying the gorgeous beard is wrecking their heart. Is it my beard? He's talking about Josh's. We both have his is a little longer, but I would argue mine's nicer.
I don't know. You're missing a lot around your cheeks, bro.
I do. It's also like 100+ degrees here. I can't be rocking the full beard,
dude. We have the same amount of the beard touching the face. Okay, the length has nothing to do with heat.
No, it gets all that insulation up here where I need this heat to escape.
I need it to escape. Put a fan under your beard so it just blows in the wind all day.
But yeah, I mean, he's not into Apple. You should get the Apple, Joe. I'm telling you.
No, don't waste your money on Apple or Samsung.
I agree. Don't waste your money on Samsung, but definitely go Apple. Oh, does Huawei have a watch?
Google won't let you buy them anymore. You can't use half the. You can buy it, but you can't use the App Store.
There's no Android on it, right? They have their own ecosystem.
They do now. I think it's based on Android OS. You know, the open source system of it. But yeah, it's because they the App Store. But that's what they blocked. Google blocked the App Store from them. So you couldn't. Size matters on everything.
So actually, I would say that the tech in the Huawei's are pretty crazy. like the phones, the
I had one, dude. That thing had so many sensors built into it. I think that was the one that had the oxygen sensor built into the phone.
camera on the P90, the P20 Pro is out of this world.
Yeah.
So Joe asked, do I stretch before I walk? Just a little bit. I don't stretch a ton pre-walk, but I'll stretch my calves out a bit, my hamstrings, and I'll do a quick chest stretch just to get my chest stretched out.
Walk it out now.
I'll rotate my neck. I actually have a pulled muscle in my neck at the moment, and I just hooked up my TENS unit last night. I ran it for like 2 hours.
Love my TENS unit.
Feels great. The TENS unit's the best thing.
I always hate though when I put it on and like I have a thing just like a quarter of an inch to the left than I normally put it, and then all of a sudden it's like ripping my head sideways.
Oh, Patty Doyle in the chat. Morning, Patty.
What's
Top
up, Patty?
of the morning to you. So he's down south at the moment. Guys, and actually, Patty, I saw you drop the video this morning. I'll watch it after the stream. But I'm excited because Patty, I know you were going to an island. That was like the next day of the last video. So I'm excited to see where you are in this video. Guys, definitely check Patty out. He's driving his Honda Dream scooter to every province in Thailand. And if you haven't watched the beginning of his series, how he got from Chiang Mai, where he lived in the north, to the south is an epic start to this journey already. So it's going to be an awesome series, guys. Definitely go check it out. Patty Doyle riding his damn scooter to every province around the kingdom.
What's his
77, I think, provinces.
It's spending $100 on Thailand's tropical island paradise. I'll hop in there.
Yeah, check it out, guys. After the stream, watch his video. After the stream.
Yeah. So, but going back, like I think that's gonna be my biggest part, like, because we talked, like, we'd start, have an intermission, if you will, right, and go over but I need to push to that next level and find ways of getting in more steps one way or another, whether it's even exercising, because I do most of my exercise in the garage, but of course, it's usually in the morning. I don't have my phones in my pocket or tracking on my watch. Like, I know that doesn't validate whether I worked out or not, but
so buying success, do I put my TENS? No, I put it on my traps, so like just on my back of my neck and my shoulder, and then I'll run it on my legs sometimes, especially if I've had like a rough day on my calves. I'll throw it on the calves and blast those. Yeah, a lot of people here loving Patty's channel. One tutorial. Yeah, Coon Patty's awesome. His channel, it's just gonna get better.
Yeah,
Patty's, because what's gonna happen is he's already making awesome content, and I think he's like 3 videos into the series, and he's doing 76 provinces. He's doing like 3 videos a week. He's just gonna keep finding that groove, and it's gonna get more and more dialed in.
Right.
By the time he's done, that we're gonna be like 300 episodes deep on Patty going around Thailand, every province on the Dream.
And the best part, even if there's an extreme day or a one-off, in good or bad, it's still going to create great content.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Awesome story, yeah. Everyone here, great job so far. Yeah, not that type of scooter.
That'd be awesome. Riding a Razor scooter through Thailand to see if
there was a guy who is Ed something. He unicycled around the world. It took like over 3 years. And at one point, he's unicycling through Malaysia, and he runs into a guy skateboarding across Malaysia.
That's awesome.
Was
he on an Elos?
No. He unicycled. He had like one of those 36-inch wheel unicycles.
Oh, that's awesome.
Deborah, Thailand, Indonesia, both amazing countries. I live in Thailand. I live in Bangkok. I've been to Indonesia. Jib's been to Indonesia. My wife's been to Indonesia, Malaysia. All amazing, all beautiful in their own right. I've never been to Bali though, which is the place that everyone says like, oh, it's like the most beautiful beaches, blah, blah, blah. I'm a city guy, so I went to Jakarta. I love Jakarta. It was awesome. Telkom Indonesia let me climb. I wish I was counting like steps this day, like where you count the stairs you go up. I climbed like an 800-meter tower in Jakarta because we're doing this whole video, a test video for EFM, Well, I'm actually making a video about EFM, so I got to get in touch with everyone. But I went up the this tower, 800-meter tower outside Jakarta with Telkom Indonesia, all because I was like, oh yeah, I was certified to climb towers in the US. I went up the tower at our office all the time, which is like 12 meters.
Right.
The one in Cleveland. And that's the, I've been on rooftops and like going up like the steps to the base of towers, but I've only ever climbed a 12-meter one. And so they're like, oh yeah, we'll bring you up a tower. They literally give me a safety rope. Like that's it, like a piece of rope to tie around my waist with a hook. No gloves, no hard hat, and they send me up with a guy. And then there's no safety cage on the last section, so I didn't even go to the top. I'm like, I'm like my arms are burnt. There's no way I'm climbing up with one crappy piece of cotton rope to the top of an 800-meter tower with no safety cage.
They actually forgot to tie the other side of the rope to anything.
No, it was tied around my waist, and the idea was I have to hook it on every step. I'm like, I can't do it. But yeah, that was Jakarta is awesome. Indonesia's fantastic. The food in Indonesia is fantastic.
Yeah,
I walked every day. I was measuring my steps back then too, and I was hitting like 12,000, 15,000 steps a day in Indonesia, walking around Jakarta. One, because traffic is so bad, like you can't really take a taxi or a scooter taxi anywhere. Just traffic's crazy in Indonesia, but it's a beautiful city to walk.
Yeah, but see, tracking your steps, I upgraded, so I just grabbed a blood pressure monitor because I'm going to start keeping track of that as well in the mornings because I need to get that down along with my numbers.
What Deborah says, Mahias Oma is Indonesian.
Mariah's Oma is Indonesian.
Who's that?
Mariah's her husband.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oma.
Yeah, Indonesia's a cool place. Good food. Does he make awesome Indonesian food? I have tried to tweet all of this video, but I haven't done the last one. Yeah, no, Wonder man, you're great on Twitter, man. I appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you so much. My cousin is a missionary in Fiji here.
Family I've been trapped with COVID.
I don't know if I would count trapped in
Fiji,
yeah. It's a pretty dope place to be, and they had a great COVID response. So I'd rather be there than the U.S. buying space, to be honest. Granted, their medical infrastructure is not fantastic because they closed their borders super early. Almost no cases. My buddy Tejas was with the UN in Fiji, and that was like the best thing for them.
That's great. Where's the other one? Norway did that, I think.
Norway, Thailand. We also had a great COVID response. We closed our borders super early. So Joe has the Hero Band 111 P22C.
Let me look that up. Yeah, I want to get my buddy Tim just got I think he did an unboxing on it, but he just got the Wise Watch delivered. Brand new one.
A Kickstarter thing?
Yeah.
And so what is that? It counts steps, counts everything?
Yeah, let me pull it up right now because they're cheap too. So I got mine hasn't been delivered yet because I ordered an extra band. So they're delayed on it. So it's got a 1.75-inch screen, aluminum alloy frame, oximeter monitoring, fitness tracking, 9-day battery life.
Whoa, 9 days.
9 days. PPG sensors, 70 to 100% measurement. What is it? The 940 nanometers plus 660 nanometer wavelengths. Like it's medical. What is it? Yeah. So it's not a medical device, obviously, but and the other part that I actually got it for is because I have Wise cams and everything else. You can control it all from the watch, of course. Water resistant 2 meters, sleep monitoring, steps. And this is good for me. The menstrual health tracking.
The iPhone has that.
Good. So you're staying healthy.
I know my cycle. So I'm trying to find. I have another watch somewhere. Here it is. Is this it? I don't even know where it is. I've got a.
This is what I was curious about. Not to interrupt you. So there's sleep monitoring. I didn't understand. So I get duration. I get depth. So obviously deep sleep, but position once you wake up. So is it how much you toss and turn? You think?
Yeah, I think if you wear it, they definitely can monitor how much you toss and turn. I'm trying to find. I have a Sunto watch.
That one Joe has isn't too bad. I just Googled that thing.
I gotta find. Actually, the Sunto watch I have is nice, but it's not great with an iPhone.
Oh, I gotcha.
So it doesn't sync with health. I gotta find it. Actually, if I can find it, I'll give it away. It's like $1,000 watch or something stupid.
Even 1,000 baht watch?
No, it's like $1,000.
USD.
Bangkok Musings, what's up, man? How you doing? Out there today, rocking it in Bangkok. It looks like it's gonna rain actually where I live.
Do you ever get I'm curious about that. Like, I love thunderstorms, but they're always in the summer. Do you get them year round because of your temperatures?
No, we have a rainy season, and so in I'd say like June, July until November, it rains. It has like a monsoon style rain every day for like an hour.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know. Like, I was telling, I was like, that'd be awesome. If, like, once a week you get a badass thunderstorm.
Yeah. Oma's Dutch for grandma. Oh yeah, Dutch Indonesian. Yeah, makes sense.
Where's Bangkok Musings? I'm stuck in the Apple ecosystem. I'm using Apple Watch Series 6 to track my steps. Now, listen, I totally appreciate what Apple does, right? I love what they do, and I love what Samsung does, but I hate them because they're so proprietary. Like, I want to use the keyboard on my phone that I want to use. I don't care what you want me to use. Right. I want my notification ringtones that I made to be my notification ringtones. I don't want to have to figure out uploading them to a computer or buy them from somebody. No, that's where my hatred of all of it comes from.
So I actually love the proprietary part of Apple because it means everything works really well.
Usually.
If something is in the Apple ecosystem, 9 times out of 10, dude, even like 9.9 times out of 10, it's seamless.
My G4 didn't hook up at all. I bought a 2003 my Power Mac G4 for $40. So that's what I'm referencing.
So Hugh has a great question, right? Because I live in Thailand, which is a tropical climate or subtropic. With 10K steps, what's your hydration level? 3 to 4 liters? Yeah, just about. I've got to have at least 3 liters of water a day, and usually I'm also adding an electrolyte pack to probably 500 mils of water at some point throughout the day, so that I don't dehydrate. I don't get my electrolytes out of balance. So I'm very cautious to eat, taking enough potassium, and also make sure that I'm consuming enough salts and all of that. But yeah, enough water. Water is key. Right. And I now with the steps, 3 to 4 is really minimum. Sometimes probably I'm 5 or 6, depends on, because I sweat a lot. So if I do a daytime walk, or if I walk while it's still sunny out, I'll sweat like crazy. So I have to drink a couple extra liters. I've got a 3-liter Camelback for when I do the 50K challenge. I imagine that day I'll probably drink close to 10 liters.
And not have to go to the bathroom.
Probably not. I'll be sweating it all out.
See, that's in the Cleveland winters, man. I drink so much more water than I do in the summer.
It's so dry, right?
It's so dry. Like, I've got humidifiers, in every room and everything else, and just water. Like, in the summer, I probably should drink more water. I just don't notice that I'm dehydrated as often in the summer. So
I will say, for me personally, when I lived in Cleveland, the winters were really tough on my skin, really tough on my sinuses, just because it's so dry. Like, I would get bloody noses. I would get, my skin I couldn't moisturize my skin enough.
Right.
Then moving to Asia, that all went away. Now, of course, I deal with the humidity all year, but I don't get bloody noses in the dry cold. My skin's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Deborah's even putting down 3 liters a day.
Yeah. So Bangkok, he's stuck in the Apple ecosystem, which I don't have the Watch Series 6. I have a 4 or a 3.
Anyway, did you see what Hugh posted?
No.
The most recent comment. Did it follow? Daily Brando, it's important. It's got electrolytes. Oh, it didn't pop up in stream. It's got electrolytes.
Brando.
It's what plants crave.
It's what plants crave, yeah. Do a sleep study on your. So I used to wear my Apple Watch overnight for sleep, and I'd get pretty good sleep results. I've looked at a few of the pads that will actually measure your sleep. And I think that's interesting.
The Pebble does a really good job of that. Like I actually thought about, because of the heart rate monitor and the Fitbit that I have, of literally wearing the Pebble to bed and then wearing the Fitbit for the day, you know, because the Pebble does it. It tells me my deep sleep, my movement. But I realize when I do wear, like, I don't move when I sleep. I'm like a weirdo. They say everybody tosses and turns, but like I lay down and I don't move all night and I have like almost full deep sleep. It's really weird.
Really? So do you wake up really sore?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I really don't. I don't. Maybe my legs are moving on their own, or you know, maybe I twitch enough silently that the Pebble doesn't feel it. But yeah, I don't feel stiff in the morning. I'm more stiff at the end of the day. But it's, you know, my body doesn't hurt like that in the mornings. I always drink a glass of water before coffee and a glass of water before bed, just so
I'm always drinking some water as well. Like I always want to make sure I drink in the first thing in the morning. I take my my supplements and I drink water before I even do coffee.
Yeah.
I drink 500 milliliters. Hey, real quick, this is that Sunto watch that I have that if I find the charger, I'll do a giveaway and I'll ship this to someone. But if you have an Android, this is a great watch.
What is it?
It's a Sunto, SUUNTO. I don't know the model, but it's
I looked at that watch.
Yeah.
They're like $112 on Amazon.
Is that what they're at now?
Yeah. There is one, a Garmin. Oh, that's a Garmin. Sunto Core wristwatch, top computer, 112 on Amazon. But that years could be different. That's just what's popping up here. Let me see.
This is a few years old.
So it's a sport watch, it looks like, or is it a customizer?
I think it's a sport watch. All
right, let's see what they're going for now.
It's huge though. You can sit on my wrist compared to.
That's what she said. It's so the newest one is $400. A Sunto 3, which looks like yours, is $179.
This one has the brass face. I don't know if it.
I don't know. There's a lot. They have a lot of watches because they have a $600 one, the Sunto 9 titanium.
No, this is not titanium. It's a light watch, so it's actually got a ton of features, but it is like the price in Thailand is expensive because it was imported. But actually, Sunto gave me this watch. Well, they gave it to the show that I produced. They gave us a couple, so I took this green one, which, like I said, I just didn't like it. It's like a very serious sports watch. It's like GPS and pulse ox, all this stuff that I don't need to know. VO2 max, and it doesn't sync with Apple Health. But yeah, if you have an Android, so if I can find the charger, I'll do a giveaway of this watch and I'll ship it to someone.
So you can actually
definitely be someone who has an Android.
It's kind of impressive. You can actually go on here and design your own watch. I'm just trying to see how much it is. Of course, they don't tell you a price until you're trying to check out.
Joe does 6 liters of water a day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of water. I guess, like Hugh says, as long as your kidneys can handle it. But Joe's also, like I said, his average daily steps is almost double me, right? So he's pushing 20 on the daily. And he's doing other workouts. He's doing squats, push-ups, all this other stuff. He's in crazy shape.
That's what I need to get back to. I can't handle this anymore.
No. So are you going to continue to try to push through 10K after the month?
Absolutely, dude. That's why I was excited to do this with you. You know what I mean? Because there's been other ideas we've had together, and I'm usually like, I'm not doing lives. Leave me alone. Go away. You know, that's it. You know, I'll always support your channel, but you know what I mean, right? So like, but this, I was like, fuck that. I need to be all in. This is what I want to do. I need a reason to start. I don't need a reason. You know what I mean? But it's nice to have that. And it's not like we don't talk, 14, 25, 30 times a day. So
always keeping each other accountable.
Right.
Now, I'll say that I'm definitely looking forward to keeping going with this after the 1 month. I'll probably continue to track for like a year.
But I'm down with that. I want to see the 30 days. You know, it'd be fun though. Listen, a 3 month, a 6 month follow up. Yeah. Keeping track of this and just going at it. Talk about a mini documentary. Year in the making.
You want to do 20K a day for me with a week?
15 years. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because after we finish the month, I plan to do 20,000 for a week and just see how that feels.
Right.
I'll probably Frank, senior Frank, one of the subs, he was saying that to him it feels like it's a sign of mental illness to want to do 20,000 a day for a week.
You're broken, Dana. Stop it. I need to do 50,000 a day. I need to. I like pull over the side. I start running next to cars.
Deborah says if Uncle Josh gets my kids, he'll increase his steps. I promise. I don't know if more kids is gonna help him. You got 3 at the house now.
Why do you think I stay locked in the garage all day? No. Yeah, there's 3. Well, see the older 2 do their 14 and 12. They're like, I don't care. My 7-year-old keeps me going though. We have fun with him.
So Chris, I'll definitely say that 3 liters is good. That is definitely not bad, especially if you're not super active. Like you said, 300 steps yesterday, but the price on that Fitbit versus 3 was just right. Free.
Exactly. That's my kind of deal right there. You know me.
You can't beat free.
I enjoy my Versa. I like it. What I'm excited for though is so Pebble Fitbit. The reason they upgraded their watches because they bought Pebble. So they bought their OS and everything else. Now it's still open source enough that I can use my Pebble, luckily, because it's the watch faces and everything, dude. That's what I love. Anyways, but Google bought Fitbit. So the amount of technology now that can be in the next iteration of a Google Watch, I think, is going to be amazing. For anybody into Android.
So I'm wondering what exactly did Fitbit have that Google couldn't develop on their own, or was it just easier to buy it outright?
I think it was easier because the problem was, I think when Google started their own watch, they had the health stuff in it, but they were, I think almost everybody was so focused on the look, right, and the design and some of the watch face. Like Samsung to me was just stupid. Like it made no sense to me what they did with their watches. But like a lot of these, like even Sony smartwatch was awesome. You know what I mean? And the way they came out with stuff. But I think it's the Fitbit. Other part that Google's
did Sony end of life their smartwatch like after the first iteration?
I think it was the 3rd iteration.
Oh.
Their final one. And that was the one that had all the bells and whistles. Like it even had the attachments you could put around your chest at night while you're sleeping. I mean, the health stuff was through the roof. But like, I think what it is, I think Google has the full ability with their watches, like with the health stuff. But to buy the Fitbit brand, I don't think they'll ever get rid of that brand. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Lenovo bought Motorola, but they didn't change it at all the Lenovo phones. They're still Moto.
Brand. Yeah, Microsoft bought Nokia. They kept Nokia around.
Exactly. And so I think it's that part combined, though, with you have this full infrastructure of everything they've already set up that's working. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that Garmin's still around. Yeah. I'll be honest.
I'm surprised, like, between Google, Samsung, like all these brands, like Apple, like I'm surprised, like a Garmin or a Sunto really exist in that space. I think the first fitness tracker I had was a Jawbone. Does that sound right?
Yep. I think mine was too, because I had the earpiece, the Jawbone ear. It was the first Bluetooth that had noise canceling in it. Or not noise canceling, but I can't remember. You know what I mean?
When I was running like the half marathons and everything, I had the Jawbone bracelet. I remember it was like it like overlapped, it didn't close, and you had to charge it. It had like a headphone adapter to charge it and sync it to your phone.
Micro USB.
No, it was like a headphone,
that's a pain if you lose
like
that.
3.5 millimeter. No, like you would take the tip off and it had like a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
Oh,
let me see if I can find it.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I've gone through a few different ones,
but I would sweat and the thing would just die.
Oh, I think that's what happened with the original Nike Fuel Band that they came out with. Like the idea was there.
All right, let me see. Oh yeah, I've got it here. So let me share this tab.
See, I don't even know if this screen will come up because it's the e-ink. Is that even gonna with the crappy?
Oh, it kind of looks like
HTC, the HTC phone. So I have last week, this week, and next week. I've got temperature, battery, time, obviously, and what else is in here? Yeah, the date, weather. Like I just love all of that when I can look at my phone immediately.
So this is the original Jawbone that I had. This one where it says sold out here on the right. So this little silver part would pop off, and there was a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack there. So you would pull this off and put it in there to charge it, and then it was like the male version of the 3.5, and then this little tip thing wasn't waterproof. So I would go for runs and just I sweat like crazy, and the thing would die.
I got you.
So
So
I find a picture of it with it off.
Chris brought up a point I didn't even know about this, but Garmin watches are fully supported by their aviation division with trickle down tech. So
Real the aviation division. Oh, here's a breakdown. If you can see, so it's got, you can see the 3.5 millimeter thing there. So that's what would die on me. So I got Jawbone replaced this for me like 6 times. I mean, look, they were great. Like I would be like, yo, I live in Asia. I can't get another one of these at the store. Can you replace it? It's just dead. And they'd be like, okay, yeah. And they'd send me another one. Why isn't this waterproof? They're like, well, it's supposed to be waterproof, but if you sweat a lot, then obviously it gets in there. It's water resistant. Okay, here's the original Jawbone earpiece, right?
yeah, that one, or there was like a rectangle one they had, because that's the dual one though, I think.
Yeah.
The original was like a rectangle that sat in your ear, but it was the first one that would block out ambient noise while you were talking. Like one of their best commercials, I'll never forget. Like a guy goes into a laundromat and there's a man sitting in the laundromat and there's a lady behind the counter, and the guy goes in and starts yelling at her, and the lady takes a bat and just starts beating him. And the guy sitting there is just talking on his jawbone like nothing's going on. No one can hear the screaming and people dying in the background. It was an extreme commercial, but it got the point across.
I can imagine. It sounds. I don't think I ever saw that, but I think I was probably out of the U.S. by the time that came out, right?
I think it was before that, dude. I don't even think you were in Cleveland yet.
Oh, really? Is that far?
I think it was that long ago. I'll have to find it. It'll be one of those if I can track it down on YouTube.
Cool.
Yeah, Jawbone Asian Laundry Bluetooth ad.
Can you share it?
Yeah, let's see. Let me make sure it's on Daily Motion.
No, not my.
All right, hopefully it plays properly for me.
It's not coming up on your screen.
No, I didn't go to share yet. I just want to make sure hopping on the Daily Motion, you don't always know what you're going to get. So I was oh, here we go. We can get a YouTube one. Ooh, my computer's struggling here. Where? Oh, I lost my tab. All right, sorry, everybody. Hold on. Share screen. Where's the share audio button? Doesn't it pop up? Oh, there we go. Share audio. There we go. Are we ready?
Yep. Add stream. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, yes, thank you for coming. Yes. Now, listen, I'm going to cut right to it. This shirt is not quite up to par, okay?
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
We can do right away for you.
Right away?
Right away.
You can do it right away? You can do it. Don't drop words with me. You can do it right away.
Right away.
Medium starch. You're so good. You're so smart.
This is such a racist commercial.
Yeah, I was just with all the Asian hate going on in America right now. This is horrible.
Medium starch.
We make it happy for you, okay?
Yeah, this is a Chinese laundry, right? Right? Chinese laundry is supposed to iron shit and dry clean shit. Medium starch. You don't speak much English. There's a little old lady in the back understand.
Wow.
But wait, the spin is good.
Size ass up here and help him understand medium fucking starch. That's all. How long have I been coming here? Help me out here, buddy. Can you explain medium starch? Can you? No help from the peanut gallery. Thanks a lot. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to go back.
This is a long
back.
commercial.
You're going to take your little assistants with you. You're going to pull them away from their Hello Kitty dolls and their Pokemon cards. And you're going to starch my fucking shirt while I wait. Who says I don't like Asians? Medium fucking starch. Can you make your grandfather understand? Medium fucking starch. This is my fucking lunch break. Is it better if I talk with you like this? Is that okay? Okay, medium fucking starch. Oh, yeah, we know you a long time.
Hi, honey. I'm at the finish.
I'll never forget this commercial.
Yeah, it's bad for you, babe. I'm not going to tell you what the surprise is. If I did that, then it wouldn't be a surprise, doesn't it? I love you when you talk like that.
Oh, okay, that's a good ending. But yeah, that's super racist up to that point.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Jawbone eliminates noise. Yeah, that
How-
was
I was gonna say what year that was, because that definitely would not be PC today.
he uploaded it in 2015. Let me see if I can find I'm just trying to see if there's even
Yeah, here's the thing about the aviation. Garmin watches are fully supported by the aviation. Nice. Joe has 2 in his nightstand.
to what?
Glass cockpits are amaze balls. Two Garmin's.
Oh,
Joe says I got one for Christmas. Forerunner 945. So no, not Forerunner. Isn't that a Toyota Forerunner?
are you asking me?
Yeah, isn't that a Toyota truck?
Forerunner? Yeah.
Do any of these watches monitor bed or chair exercise or physical? I do not know. Well,
Yes,
on the
you do.
Apple Watch, you can say you're doing exercise.
So it
and
looks
then jump into it.
13 years ago. It was uploaded
Wow.
to that's 2006, right? 2005, 2006.
Yeah, way before I was in Cleveland.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like it was, dude, it was old. Like I think my boy Tim is the one who shared it with me, the one that's all into the tech and everything. When it first came out, I was like, you need one of these, but it was like $400. And in 2006, I haven't even been divorced yet. Like so, but yeah, dude, that commercial, I didn't realize how racist it was. I didn't remember that. I just remember a guy talking on the phone with his jawbone and a guy getting the crap beat out of him. Post that on Twitter, see how it goes down.
Yeah, no, but like I said, right now, maybe that end scene would be appropriate, but like I said, with everything going on in the U.S. at the moment, man, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you show, you get their comeuppance, but still, there's a long commercial with a lot of that. You have to pay for that in Soy Cowboy.
I think he's talking about the getting bashed up by Asian girls.
Oh, right.
So now with where you're at now, like stepwise, Josh, how long do you think it'll take you to get to like the point where you feel comfortable hitting 10 a day?
See, I'm not uncomfortable hitting today. I just haven't gotten there. But I have to make changes enough to get to that next step so I can find either somewhere to go or the time, because time's not the problem. I'm out filming and walking around everywhere, but I think maybe even a little more, it's going to sound weird, but a little more desk work in the morning. So when I go to the stores, there isn't a lot of the standing around and like trying to figure stuff out and trying to look, what I'm looking for type stuff sometimes. And like maybe get a jump on that. So when I am out and about, it's more walking and less standing.
Yeah, I think, for me too, it's, one of the things that I've noticed is it's these small iterative changes that I've made to like my daily life that have helped me to be able to get to that 10K every day, be able to jump on and do, whatever, whether it's like, organize a little bit more in the morning or, taking like going to post at a different time and then doing some other stuff. It's those iterative changes like that have helped me get to that point. I think that's been a big driving factor for me.
Well, your biggest factor is the fact that all your videos now you're walking.
So that's another thing, right? Like that was another part of it. It was doing this iterative like walk and talk video style lets me get out and do more walking, do more getting around.
I do that, but no one's looking up Parma.
Yeah, no one wants to see Parma. You could put Cleveland and then like, oh, surprise, it's actually Parma.
Nope, click off. But that's my thing of being more prepared for myself when I'm going, because part of the fun is going to the store and just scanning random stuff to see what we find, right? But if I go and we just start hitting the store with specific areas, we'll keep ourselves walking more and moving more. So, or like even like I talked with Stu the other day, like his idea was to go in the stores before we even turn on the camera, walk up and down all the aisles looking for everything, so we're getting enough time in to walk around, and then I can start scanning because we know where the stuff is already. So
I think that's you're in the store all day too. So I mean, for the winter time, and this is sort of still winter for you. Right. Being able to get in there and walk around is key. And be able to move so you're out of the cold.
Yeah, like, and that's my thing. Like, because I talk with the wife too. Like, I have the space in the garage now because everything's getting, pretty organized. Actually, put away. And I think the biggest part, like, getting even a bike in the garage. Like, I love those old stationary bikes. You know what I mean? Where your hands are moving and you can actually move some muscles around. Like, to get off of this,
Airdynes.
yes, like those you can usually pick up on Craigslist at $20 to $50, and like, but just that's everything. Taking a break, I could sit on the bike for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, even. You know what I mean? So I think it'd be good in that effect of getting that.
When I was a fighter, I used to use the Airdyne for my cardio training all the time.
Or I can go extreme and get a tall desk and a desk treadmill. So I'm just walking the entire time. Those are expensive, though.
I mean, I saw one at the mall the other day. They had a bike desk, exercise bike desk. But the Airdyne one, I mean, when I was a professional fighter, that's how we would end our cardio sessions. We'd get on and fucking like pulling your arms back and forth. It was difficult to say the least.
Oh, I found a deal. Here we go. Some brand I've never heard of. It's probably a fake website, but it's under desk treadmill, portable flat walking machine with free
under desk.
Yeah, under desk, and then it's $269 with free shipping. I don't know how they get that. They could do free shipping at $269.
Yeah, maybe it's like not that great.
It's called a Murtisol. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. $269. Like the other one, like the lifespan is like $1,300. Or maybe there's no motor in it.
J7 jumps on. So it's refreshing to have two guys talking about all this sort of stuff. Did a bit of a challenge with friends years ago. Lost 35 kg in 3 months. Nice.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm only down 2 weeks in. I'm down a couple kg. Nothing serious. But I only weighed myself. We decided not to do weight as a benchmark here for the first 30 days. Like a big part of it is how we feel. Right. And because I think like getting into it initially, that's the important part. Like, do we feel good doing this?
Right.
Because we were both just and again, I work from home. Jib and I own the design studio. And, so a big part of this was getting into it and really, tweaking it, getting it going and getting our bodies moving. So how we feel has really been the determining factor. Like, maybe I think what we should do, like, I'll continue on, like I said, but we'll do weight for the next 90 days or whatever after this and do a check-in and see how we feel.
Yeah, like that. I'm all about, like, I've actually lost a few pounds since I've started doing it, and
like I said, I lost a few kg, but it's like I haven't even like touched my diet. I'm still eating crap food, right? And like I haven't really dialed any of that in yet. And Jib is, you guys know, before Jib and I had the design studio, she was a registered dietitian and nutritionist. So believe me, when I'm like, I'm going to dial in my diet, she's going to be like, boom, let's go.
She's got charts and graphs and she's tying you to the bed. Like
when we first started dating, she sent me a spreadsheet showing me that because I only ate fruit and somtum, that was like not healthy at all.
Like that's the biggest thing that happened for me naturally, because with the wife stuff she has going on, like everything in the house is healthy. It's basically like a keto diet for all intents and purposes. We cut out red meat, all that kind of stuff. So now it's just done. I have to stop being so sedentary because like I don't like this. Like when I sit down, I'm just like, like I just want to get rid of that. I don't care about a 6-pack. I never have. I want to be comfortable in my clothes. I don't want to have to worry about like, oh, do I have to go for a 3X in this one? Do I, you know what I mean? Like, I have to get it tall or my belly's going to hang out. That's all I care about.
So Buying Spaces says, I'm a woman. I was in the hospital for 2 months this year. I'm learning to walk again. Thank you for the information. So talking to Maria Ellen. But so actually I had a very bad back injury 2008 maybe. I ruptured 2 discs, impeded one of the nerves to my right leg. I actually had to learn to walk. It didn't take me a whole year, but I was out of work for a year, like going through physical therapy, learning to walk, getting the muscles strong again. So I know it's a challenge. Like it's not easy, especially when you have any type of injury, like, whatever caused you to have to learn to walk again. That's definitely hard. I'll say one of the things that I've been focused on, especially these first 2 weeks, the shoes I'm walking in are zero rise shoes, right? They're not like true barefoot shoes because they have a thick rubber sole. Not thick, but thicker than a barefoot sole would be. But it's a zero rise shoe. It's like the Nanyang shoes that I wear. They're similar to Chucks. And
Okay.
so there's no heel rise to them. So I'm very focused on using a midfoot stride. So walking like you would walk with barefoot shoes, as opposed to heel striking, striking slightly flat and pulling. So I've really been focused on that technique. And I'll say that my legs and feet feel so much better when I focus on getting that right technique with that flat soled shoe.
It helps with the flat earth too, because you don't have to worry about curves. It's all flat, bro. It makes it super easy on your feet.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh God.
On that note.
Yeah. No, but what do you walk in? What kind of shoes do you have, Josh?
My
Velcro New Balance?
dude, pretty close. No, the Nike Zooms.
Trainers.
Trainers.
Try a pair of barefoot shoes or zero rise shoes.
Okay.
I think that you would find. I'll send you some videos on the actual walking technique for that.
But that never hurts, right? Like I've never had my feet hurt. It's never held me from walking.
But what you'll find is like the mechanics. We as kids, right? Remember, like in gym class, like, oh, you have to, hit with your heel and like have the right. That's how they used to teach us to run or to walk, was heel striking. Our bodies actually aren't designed to run or walk in that way. That's actually a product of shoe design, because they make these big cushioned heels.
Oh.
So what biomechanics is now figuring out is that our bodies actually function a lot better with this barefoot style of walking. And actually, if you like, I'm actually working on a video about this. Like, why do our shoes have these like curved pointy toes, right? These small toe boxes, when our feet are not at all shaped like that. So if you learn how to walk with this sort of barefoot style, it really does change your efficiency. It also changes the way your body feels post walk. So I'll send you some videos on that, but look at getting, even if you can get a pair of Nanyang shipped, which are like a fairly inexpensive shoe.
Dude,
I think you and I talked before that there's some out there in the US.
The Magic Safety steel toe Jikatabi with Velcro.
Steel toe with Velcro.
Do you see it? I'm sharing the screen. Did it pop up?
Let me pop this up at the stream. What is this, like a ninja shoe?
Bro, listen. This is the future. Ankle support Velcro. Perfect for a flat earth. Sorry, I don't want to get you demonetized since you just started.
looks like a ninja shoe.
It does. Dude, what if every country has ninjas, but Japan's just the worst at it? Did you ever think of that?
I did not think of that.
Right? That's why we know about them, because they're the worst.
Joe just sent me a picture. Let me pull this up.
Yeah, I mean, do I just Google barefoot shoes?
Yeah, or yeah, barefoot shoes.
Minimalist.
Oh, it's all blurry, Joe. Can you resend that? I want to get that shirt in focus.
Sambas are not minimalist shoes. Sambas are so uncomfortable.
See if you can you get Nanyangs on Amazon? Nanyang?
I think from some previous discussions we had, I think you can. How do you spell it again?
Nanyang.
I don't think it was Amazon that had a good deal on them. I think just the
eBay, right?
I want some of their elephant rubber slippers, or elephant brand, not elephant rubber. That'd be weird, but
well, the elephant's their logo.
Oh, okay.
Token Nomad with the best comment. Looks like something they wear at the Renaissance.
I have a Thor hammer around here somewhere. Dude,
Also,
for
I've been doing
$9,
my wrist exercises with my hammer here. So just like my 2-pounder.
I think we spelled it wrong. Nan Yang, right? Like, I know that's not how you say it, but that's how you spell it.
Nanyang. Nanyang.
It pulls up that word pulls up so much stuff. Oh yeah, here we go. The sneakers. Well, I'll go back share screen. I'm pretty sure these are too many tabs open. I think these are the ones we talked about before and looked at.
It's got the rubber toe on it. Looks like some Chucks. Yeah, that's it. Yes, sir.
That's right. Yeah, because they're $50, 15 shipping from Thailand.
$50 with 15 shipping.
That's why we talked about them. Remember, we had a discussion about them.
Literally, they cost me like $11 to buy new.
But see, these are and get this, dude. These are shipping from Thailand. So these are $76 shipping from Thailand. We don't even have to import these bad boys.
Dude.
You're dropping the ball. You need an eBay account,
right?
See, guy. See, this has free shipping from the U.S. Yeah, from Florida, right? So he's $50, and they're in the U.S.
So he's already paid to go back to that sole.
This one,
the green, yeah. That is not what the bottom. I don't think that's what the bottoms look like.
Oh, it's not gonna let me zoom in. I don't know, dude. That looks like it's in Thai. Let me see.
It looks like a Nanyang, but I don't think they have that pattern. The regular pattern, but I don't think they have the different pattern at the heel.
Unless he just has his own. Let me zoom in on this.
Oh, maybe they do.
Yeah, I mean that's
their stamp, yeah.
Unless he figured out a cheap way to make them.
I have to pay more attention to the treads.
Yeah, right.
So literally, I could have a wholesale account with them, but if I bought them at retail, they're $11. So I could sell them at $20, double my money, and charge for shipping on eBay.
Yeah. Well, you could do more, dude. I mean, this. So now this guy's the cheapest, $56 from Thailand shipping. Is it for? Let's see if it's free. Yeah, it's free expedited shipping. You need to get up a shipping account because I can even set up a FedEx shipping account and save big money, even off of like the Roller Print Manager and eBay fees, like all that stuff. I can get it cheaper through FedEx myself with the amount of shipping I do. And I do a lot, but I'm nowhere near as a massive, you know what I mean? I mean, heck, dude, how much are the flip flops, the slippers? Because they're going for $35.
I think they're like $4.
Yeah.
So Craig says, "How about some little Nas Nike Satan shoes with real blood in every pair?"
Now we're talking.
And they sold out, right? The aftermarket price on those are huge right
11 seconds they sold out. 11, I believe. I think that was the number.
Have you seen that music video? It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, he triggered everyone in the best possible way. I mean, the big up to Lil Nas X for pulling, like, the way he just kind of manipulated cancel culture and outrage culture and you know, trolled everyone on, you know, fantastic. Oh,
it is. I apologize. They don't have 11 seconds. It's under a minute. So that's still ridiculous. And so they're individually priced 666 pairs and $1,018, 1018. And now he's being sued by Nike and he doesn't care.
Right. Joe's got a great shirt here. Stop staring at my cock.
I saw one that had, like, it was printed on the bottom of the shirt. It says "Eyes are up here." I like that though.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that music video was fantastic, and the way that he just sort of masterfully went out and trolled everyone. And two, the shoe drop. I guess he's being sued by Nike because I guess the Nike swoosh is still on there.
Yeah, it was in full. You could see the whole thing.
Yeah, but Lil Nas X, if you're watching this, dude, I'll do a Nanyang design and we'll put some real human blood in. I'll get real human blood from somewhere and we'll do a red Nanyang custom for you, devil Satan pair. I'll make it happen.
I got annoyed by all the Christians freaking out because you're being a hypocrite. They sold shoes that had holy water in them, Nikes.
Yeah.
You could get shoes with holy water in it. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, from the Jordan River, right? The same guy who designed those Lil Nas X shoes.
Was it the same guy?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's funny because it's a shoe. And
right.
I find sneaker culture really interesting with the way that people go crazy over certain brands, like certain sneakers, and spend like this exorbitant amount of money.
Hype beast, bro. Hype beast.
I find it super interesting because, and here's the thing, like there are some sneakers that really have been elevated to like the level of art. And I think that's amazing. Anytime you can turn a wearable thing into art is awesome. But my problem is I think it should still be functional. And so many people just take them and put them in a box and never use them, right? Because it will diminish the value. Where I prefer to see things that are sort of consumable. And so like even like a custom pair of denim, that one of the things that I like to do is denim repair, right? Where I'll patch knees or mend crotches or do whatever to get pieces re-wearable, and it adds to the uniqueness, but it makes it so it's more functional. You can continue to wear it. Like I've been wearing the same pair of shorts for years. I just mend them when they wear out, and I'll darn the crotch, or I'll put a patch on it, fix the pockets, whatever it takes to get it to the point where it's still wearable again. So what do you got here for me, Josh?
Greatest pair of shoes ever made.
Oh yeah, I've seen. There was a whole special on these, a whole documentary
on Vice. I think maybe it was Vice, but yeah, the RE menthols.
So there's a guy. The guy who designed this is required to buy any pair that becomes available.
Yeah, so that's why people put them up for $12,000.
Yeah, as part of his settlement. Yeah,
it's crazy, man. Crazy. Upside down swoosh.
Yeah.
Not Air, Ari.
So who was it? Nike that sued him, or was it the Philip Morris?
I think it was both. I think he was sued by both.
Joe, how much are what? The Nanyangs, or you want to know how much were the Satan shoes? Deborah's talking about those 80 pumps. The Reebok pumps in the 80s.
I love it. You can get those again now. I think they brought them back out, but nothing beats. Like I had the red and black with like the tiger stripes on the side, dude. I was a badass.
As I remember, they only pumped up the tongue, right?
Yeah, and it put pressure on. So when you tied it, it would help get, like, if instead of stopping to retie your laces, you could pump it up so the pressure against the laces would keep the shoe on tighter.
But if you really want to like pump, I mean, it should pump around the ankle. I think that would be the most support.
Right.
But obviously easier to make it so it pumps on the tongue.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I think they were still expensive. I think back in 92 or so when I got my pair, I think they were like $70-$80, something like that.
I think they were over $100 back in the day.
Probably right.
The kids still wear expensive sneakers?
Yeah, but sneakers aren't as expensive. Like Hype Beast, obviously that aside, right? And the newest Nike drops, things like that. But like, dude, but you know me. Listen, I'm so cheap. I bought these brand new. I only paid $24 shipped for these bad boys.
Nice. Nike
Fit sole. I can put the little Nike thing inside the sole if I actually tracked anything. And
no, it's like I said, for me, it's like, I wear my Nanyangs, dude. They're like $12 or whatever, and they last me years.
Right.
Oh yeah, Joe was asking how much. Yeah, so to buy them new in Thailand, Joe, it's like $12, like 350 baht, I think 355 for like adult sizes.
Yeah, that was one of the things we talked about. I know.
Yeah. So I think I could get it at like half price from Nanyang. Like if I opened up a wholesale account with them.
And see, that's the thing. You may be.
They won't give me exclusive export.
No,
they only sell domestically.
Oh, okay.
Right? So and like that 90% of their market is for school kids. And so I'm in talk I've been talking to one of the people who works there, trying to do a video with Chris from Retired Working for You. Obviously, he gets a lot more reach, so it makes more sense for them to do the video with him,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
And what happens was they saw that I talked about their shoes on his video when he toured my studio. And I do custom designs on those as well. And so like I'll turn around. Some people pay like hundreds of dollars for custom pairs. And actually after Chris's video, I got like hundreds of emails, like people wanting custom pairs. I'm like, I do 2 a month max.
Right. Chill
like,
out.
Yeah, like I'm not like I take time. Like I have to hand dye them. I have to like bake it in. I mean,
Right.
you know, and then like working out the design, and like people are like, can you do a face? I'm like, it's not leather, right? It's canvas. So
Right.
I can't spray paint things on there and it seals.
Dude,
like
you
on
can do it easily.
leather
The permanent marker, 2 dots and a smile, done. There's your face. 12,000 US. No,
So-
12,000
so
pounds.
So most of it I do with like marker and stuff, but like some of the things people were thinking that they're similar to like a leather where people spray them. I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
it's very different. But yeah, like I could do a deal with them, but yeah. So Chris and I are working on a collaboration video with Nanyang that should happen at some point once their primary sales season is done after like the next month.
Gotcha. Back to school and all that's over. Makes sense.
The Nike mag, yeah. How many did they make of those? Weren't they super limited when they released them a few years ago?
Yeah. Super limited too. But it was funny when they first came out, they didn't like they sold fast, but the resale wasn't as high as I thought. But then the market got flooded with knockoffs, so that didn't help. Here, 16,000 right now, size 9.
Nice.
Oh, you get the hat, the jacket, and the board.
Oh, you get everything with it. Oh, you get the board. Okay, that's worth it.
The hoverboard doesn't work.
This guy that does custom design on Adidas, the guy buys Gazelle Sambas and then creates a custom limited shoe and different themes. He just did a custom Oasis, the band. It sells for $165. Nice. I think the most I've ever sold a custom pair of Nanyang's for is like $200, like 6,300 baht. Someone wanted like their brand on the shoe and hit me up, and it was a logo. I was actually concerned about it at first because I didn't think the logo would look good on the shoe. And they were basically, when we looked at it and talked about like, okay, this is how it will look. And I think the logo was sort of chunky enough that it wouldn't be too fine of detail. I thought, oh, we can do this. It'll work.
Yeah, I still want a pair of Air Mags.
How would you say $16,000?
That guy was like, here I got a little cheaper. Got them for $750.
That's quite a bit cheaper.
Or for, I don't know what size they had. Oh, this guy's down to 3 sizes. So they have the knockoffs, which obviously don't say Nike. They don't light up. It just looks like it, but they're still $100. But it says Universal Studios officially licensed. Like, then why doesn't it say it anywhere on the one photo of the shoe you have on Amazon?
Yeah. I mean, I understand why they did it as a limited thing.
Oh, absolutely. I still think they should have done a limited thing and then came out with a more regular version, right? Like maybe it didn't have all the extra lights or all the extra whatever, just right. Yeah, because you can get them with the lights on the side and stuff like that for here. $62, size 12 on eBay.
Nice.
Straight e-packet delivery from China, which will be 6 weeks late. Oh no, the Suez Canal is open now, so it won't be too bad.
Yeah, but what do they have, like a 400 ship backlog?
Yeah, something like that. But they said it's weird. They're like, yeah, it'll be cleared up in 3 days, but it's going to create like 6 months of behind merchandise.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all, like on any level. Now, the other part of that, though, California docks, the only benefit to this, California docks had a 1 month backlog, period, because they were so behind because of the Rona and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were able to slightly start catching up. But they said because of this, by the time the ships get to where they're going out of the canal, then they'll have a new backlog in California. So
very interesting. That's I mean, crazy shipping. Shipping by sea is crazy.
Oh man, Craig, that's amazing. Some guy in Oregon found 6 pair of mags in his storage locker.
What?
Oh,
really? How did one person collect 6 pairs and keep them in a storage locker?
They just bought them to collect them. Like, dude, here's the thing. There was years ago, I wasn't even dating my ex-wife at the time, right? This is a long time ago. And I was like, oh, I'm in an apartment. I'll get a storage locker. And then like 3 months go by and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't paid my storage locker. But I was smart enough to keep track to the point where I'm like, oh, so all I did was 3 days before they put their lock on it, I took all my stuff out and just left it. Right. So, you know, but it's like, if you know you have 6 pairs of mags in there, what is going on? But the side of that I'll play devil's advocate with myself, a lot of it is people are in jail.
Yeah.
And there's no one to go pay for it, no one to go get the stuff, or that people don't care to get the stuff because the person's in jail, you know, or the unfortunate side, someone passed away, you know, things like that, you know, make a difference. But
now, I know you bought a few, right?
Yeah, I bought them with other people, with other YouTubers, basically is what I did. And I did really good on one. My best one was that one. It was $32 was our total, right? That we had to pay for everything. And there's piles of black garbage bags, stuff like that. And in the back, there was like 3 garbage bags of all brand new Legos unopened.
Wow.
And they were all like 4 to 5 years old. So they were already collector, like, you know, you can't buy retired sets. So I made about $3,000 on that locker, which was pretty awesome.
For 30 something bucks.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, but then I've been to the other side. I helped somebody clear out a locker, and you know, you see all these boxes piled behind the mattresses, and they were filled with more mice poop than anything worth money. And he paid like $800.
It'd be funny if anyone ever just went in, filled the locker up with empty boxes, then stopped paying.
Dude, that'd be amazing. just to see somebody go buy it.
Yeah,
you know, just stocked up with boxes, and like, you know, right on the outside, like Nintendo, you know, Sega, Marvel first editions, Marvel third editions,
DVDs.
You know, spray them with some water so they get a little crusty on the edges. Looks like that, you know, you've been collecting them for a while.
That'd be the ultimate troll. Then make a vlog about that to see who bids on it.
Dude, that'd be so epic. I almost want to just go do that now, just to see which YouTuber catches it. Like, you know, do it all over the country, and then like the last box in the middle back, like, you know, you were Rick rolled by Suburban Beard. Like, you open the box, it plays Rick roll on it. Oh, dude, it'd be so epic. So you open it, you never get.
How many months does it take till they put the lock on it?
I think they're all a little different, but it's about 3 of not paying.
Okay.
Some are 2, some are 3, but then they don't automatically have an auction. You know, it's a couple months in between there that they finally have an auction when they have a couple they could do, you know. So, but yeah, it would be totally worth it to
just fill it with boxes, like I said, like spray paint on the outside, like,
right? Make them rust colored, you know, or make it like seal some in plastic and write like, yeah, Marvel first edition, but like it's sealed, like, you know, like shrink wrap sealed. So they pick them up, it's just empty except the back one. It's a little tape, you know. We'll get an old tape player, and you hit play. You were Rick rolled, and it just plays Rick roll. Or unless we could, I don't see, the problem would be keeping the battery charged for that long, but like to have a motion activated camera so when they open the box.
that would be a tough one, but
right.
But yeah, the actual like putting a tape player in there, you just hit play, boop, see what happens.
Or I just plan it out, like I know it's going to go, right? And so I just keep looking for when the auction is, and I just go and wait. I'll go. I don't care.
Imagine if someone dropped like a couple grand on this, like, oh my god, Nintendo, Sega,
right?
What else is in there?
Or like I bid it up off the rip. They're like, we're starting this one at $100. I'm like, 300. Like I know something's going on in there.
Yeah, but then what if you win?
Oh, right. You know, then I Rick rolled myself at that point, which would still be a funny video.
Then you just walk away. Away.
I run. I run as fast as I can so I don't have to pay.
The cash is in my car. I'll be right back.
I'll write you a check.
Paper checks, because people still have those.
I think people just have them because then they can find their routing and checking number easier.
That'd be hilarious. I mean, that would be an epic video, like from like a storage reseller perspective.
Ooh, Craig, use a glitter bomb.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, like what's his name? The
Mark Rober.
Mark Rober, yeah, get one of his.
Dude, I'm excited about their scamming. Have you been watching all the scamming videos they're doing? They're catching the mules for the money and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
So you hop on Rober, and then it ties with the Jim Brown guy and then another guy. And so it's all the guys that call India, right, to scam the scam artists. And so, but they teamed up with Mark Rober. And so like people are literally sending like $10,000 in the mail, and they're using bed and breakfast like Airbnbs as drop points for addresses to have stuff delivered. And so these people get the Airbnb for a day and then leave, and then they just go stand out front waiting for FedEx to deliver cash, and then they have to send it off. But so the last one they did, Mark Rober, it was a glitter bomb, and the mule opened it, and it was everywhere in this poor person's Airbnb.
Does he still put the
fart spray? Dude,
Nice.
It's so more organized now. There's like 6 cameras. It yells, you feeling lucky, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and like glitter and fart spray, and then an alarm and police go off. You hear police walkie-talkies, and
Nice.
It's gotten epic.
Yeah, that was the greatest thing. I mean, the first year he did that, and then when he made I think the last one I saw was version 2.
Okay, yeah, no, the most recent one is even better. Like it has gyroscopes in it, full GPS tracking, so they can follow it, and they can activate the cameras. The cameras have extra batteries now, so it can record for like up to 3 days, I think, if it has to, right? Like so, like if somebody doesn't open it right away, things like that, and yeah.
Yeah, so talking about, I did see that. I forget what the game was, but wasn't it like they were digging in like a landfill, right? As I recall.
Yeah, I remember they told me this story. Atari video game burial, mass burial of unsold video game consoles and computers in New Mexico landfill site undertaken. Hold on. By American video game and home computer company Atari in 1983. Up until 2014, they were rumored to be unsold copies of E.T., the biggest commercial failure in video game, and often says the worst video game released.
E.T., yeah.
Yeah. Since the burial was first reported, there's been doubts of veracity and scope. Oh, the last verified numbers to be around 700,000 cartridges of various titles, including E.T.
I mean, and didn't the game suck? Wasn't that the thing?
It was the worst game ever made. It still is to this day, supposedly. Here we go. In 2014,
Turtles was the worst game. You couldn't even finish it.
Yeah, but ET had nothing to do with it. Like you get stuck in a hole, and then you had to like do things to get out of a hole. That's all it was, like over and over again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really bad. But here in 2014, Fuel Industries, Microsoft, and others worked with New Mexico to excavate the site to validate the contents of the landfill as part of a documentary called Atari Game Over. April 26, 2014, the excavation revealed discarded games and hardware. Only a small fraction, about 1,300 cartridges, were recovered during the excavation period, with a portion given for curation and the rest auctioned to raise money for a museum to commemorate the burial. So it was only 1,300.
1,300, damn.
But still 1,300 games. And dude, think about it though. Granted, you never know what's going to happen in the future, right? Hindsight's always 20/20. But think if that was just sitting in a perfectly like hermetically sealed warehouse for 40 years, the money you'd have at that point.
It's funny because like some of the Nintendo stuff, right? It's not great at all. Like quality wise, it's not fantastic.
Right.
But people love it. I mean, the nostalgia behind it.
Yeah, the nostalgia is the big part.
Which I get with some stuff, right? Like I get the like Super Mario, fantastic, right? Like,
right.
Like certain things really, really good. But then it's like, other games, like I said, the Ninja Turtle game that you could never even win.
Right. Right. It doesn't actually.
People still love that game. Like, it was horrible gameplay.
Oh yeah. But see, I don't play any of that. I could care less about right. So like mine's like Super Mario Brothers 3 or 2 on the NES. And then it's N64 Bond, paintball mode, pistols, no odd job.
I remember, what was it? The original Nintendo. I think one of the games I used to love was TNC Surf Design.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And I played that again recently. Horrible gameplay.
Oh, it is. But dude, you remember the fun side of it, right? Like Duck Hunt, I played it. I hate it. That dog's a tool. Like, I want nothing to do with that game.
I love the I would argue that Double Dragon was a fun one I loved back in the day. Horrible game.
Dude,
Rampage,
Contra.
the original Rampage. Contra was up, down, left, right, BA select start. Right.
Right.
I'll know that. I'll know the Konami code for life. Horrible fucking game.
Right.
Then
Yes.
remember Life Force, which was like a scrolling top down flight game.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. See, like what I miss the most about video games, it was like, because we were both in that age range, right? Like we were young enough, or we were born early enough to enjoy our childhood without computers, and then we got to enjoy them. But there's some things that, like, I don't feel like I spent enough time in an arcade, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wish I had like 3 more years in an arcade. And now if you do it, it's like, oh, you have to come in after 6, and you can't have a beer while you're playing video games. You can't do it. Like, shut up. Like,
all the arcades here in Asia, I mean, we got a lot of them and they're big, but they've all become like Dance Dance Revolution type stuff.
right, dude, that's
And,
all they are now.
There's a popular one, I see it all the Thai arcades. It's like a big light circle, and I don't even know how to play it, but like I see some kid who like
You hit your
kills it.
hands on all the things, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like you've got to like do patterns, and it's wild, but
It's kind of, I think it's like DDR and Simon Says all in one.
but I remember like the sniper when I was in the army at Fort Bragg. They had a sniper game that you could play. I had like the video scope sniper rifle.
Right.
And that was awesome. Like I would spend way too much money playing that game.
Dude, that's why I like Dave and Buster's and stuff. Like, I go to, like, I just want to play like with Area 51, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone remembers that game.
Oregon Trail. Oh God, I remember playing that in my 486 SX.
I would still have it to play it, but they sell for way too much money.
Do they really?
So I had Oregon Trail 1 and 2 on CD-ROM, plus the Oregon Trail movie on VHS in box sealed. So that was 126, I think, for all 3 of those together.
Wow. So my favorite game back in the day when I was in high school, I used to log on to BBSs a lot. And my favorite game was Legend of the Red Dragon. I would log on and play that like all the time.
I don't think I ever played that.
Yeah, Lord, LORD, Legend of the Red Dragon on BBS. It was a script-based role-playing game, RPG.
Oh, there it is.
And I played recently, I played a web version recently, and it still sucked. I mean,
In 1989 it was developed, or it launched, I should say.
yeah, actually, the BBS I used to play on called ChowderNet back in the day, the Rhode Island BBS I dial into.
I remember
They
that.
had a version running with a bunch of the extra places, like the extra developer add-ons. It
Right.
made it so much fun. Like they had a fair, like all this, like the weekend market type of thing, and restaurants, pubs, all these places you could go to and do extra stuff. So you could play for because if you just play the game, did your forest fights, went to like the trainers, like the normal stuff, you're done in like 30 minutes. With all the extra stuff, you could play for hours, and that's what was so much fun about it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, Tokenoma, I had Oregon Trail on the 5.5. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, Legend of the Red Dragon, man, that was phenomenal. Actually, first video game I had on my computer, my 486, was the original Star Trek computer game. And that was so much for me. It was like half mystery, like half like a flight simulator with the Enterprise. Great game.
No, absolutely.
Craig says we go to our local arcade and I bring a bullwhip and snatch cigarettes out of my friend's mouth for bets from people so we have money to play their games. Go to our local arcade and I bring.
That's me.
What am I getting? Feedback from you here, Josh?
Yeah, I clicked the wrong button.
Jesus, get your shit together, Beard.
This is why we don't have nice things.
Mario Kart original, yeah. Yeah, I remember actually Mario Kart on the N64 was probably my favorite.
I love any Mario Kart. I don't care what brand it's on, anything, but I love Mario Kart. N64 was good. I like the Wii version. I just hated it. I hated this. I don't want to control.
I love the Wii. I just there's a lot of things I disliked about the Wii. Manny the Mannequin back with the super chat. Thank you, sir.
Manny's dropping them hot tonight.
Dropping it like it's hot.
Now that you're finally monetized.
My man.
Well,
So
you were monetized, and then you decided to stop doing YouTube.
Yeah. it took a small hiatus.
You had to do it twice in 2 years.
So Mario Kart was the original on the Super Nintendo?
I don't know, actually.
Actually, F-Zero was probably my all-time favorite.
So it was
on the N6, I think it was F-Zero 64. But I remember playing F-Zero on the Super Nintendo as well.
So it was released in 1992, August 27th.
He says, yeah, the Super Nintendo was the original.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. Super Mario Kart.
I remember having what was it? My buddy Jay. I would go over to his house like almost every weekend in high school, and he had like every video game system, and they were set up in the closet in his hallway. So we would literally like sit in front of the closet and like play video games all weekend long, not sleep, just like on his first floor, like. And we used to do like marathons of F-Zero races.
Dude, that's awesome.
Make money from putting a quarter in Asteroid and racking up a bunch of extra ships and then sell them for $1.50 to the next guy waiting. That's smart.
Definitely.
That's smart. Yeah, I used to run through Pac-Man a lot, like too. Like I would play the original Pac-Man like nonstop.
Pac-Man bored me. I didn't like it.
I love Pac-Man. I could go out, like I wasn't making world record runs or anything, but I loved like just running through the mazes for like a couple bucks.
Right.
But I would say my favorite to play at the arcade though was Rampage.
I liked Rampage. That was fun.
I play that forever. What was the game, the Disney game where it was like animated?
The game or the movie about the game?
No, it was a game that it looked like an animated movie. Something Quest. Yeah, I don't know if it was a Disney game or not, but it was really like great graphics at the time because it was just animated.
For the original NES or?
No, it was an arcade game.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think something. It was like probably the best graphics at the time.
Speaking of best graphics, I did just watch a documentary. It came up on my feed about
Dragon's Lair.
Oh, okay.
Probably the best looking game of like the 90s/80s.
They had a thing. So Sega, it never sold or went to production, but they like advertised it for 3 years. They were designing VR for the Sega.
Wow. Oh, remember the Nintendo Virtual Boy?
The goggles that gave everybody dementia or whatever.
Yeah. It was all red light. So your Mojo says, what was the name of the game that you had to ride the ostrich? I don't remember that. I got an Asteroid arcade game and a drunk auction. We sold to some guy in a tunnel under Disneyland in the 80s.
Joust, 1982.
Joust. What was that?
Let me go here. Sir Ostrich Knight was part 1 of the game too.
Remember Earthworm Jim on the original Nintendo? That was great. Star Fox 64, probably still one of my all-time favorites as well.
I like Star Fox. I like see, that might have been a Wii game actually. No, let me see if that came out sooner.
Star Fox was N64 was the first one I ever. I know it was on the Super Nintendo as well. I don't know if it was on the original NES, but the one on N64 was amazing.
I like Star Fox. Qbert, I really liked Qbert.
Qbert, yeah. Nothing beats GTA though. Come on.
Oh yeah. See, everyone liked GTA 5, and I understand why. I loved Vice.
Yeah, Vice City was really good. Yeah,
that was the one I really liked. Yeah, it was Joust.
Yeah, Vice City was probably my favorite as well.
All right, my man. We are coming up on.
Yeah, this is 2 hours.
We pumped it. We sit here. Listen, the first half hour, we're trying not to sit anymore. We're trying to keep moving.
Now we're 2 hours in. Yeah, so I got to go move around.
See, this is what happens when Dana and I talk.
I want to thank all you guys for rocking with us today. Thank you for everyone who super chatted. Appreciate it. Thank you for the coffees on the Buy Me a Coffee, guys. Much appreciated. Again, Josh and I are doing, we got 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks left on the 30-day of 10K steps.
Yep.
So I'll probably spend like maybe a couple weeks editing that, talking to experts, getting everything put together. And we'll do that as a premiere. So when that comes out, that will be like probably like a 30-minute video, somewhere around there. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it again. Have a great evening or great day, depending on where you are. Until next time, keep taking action. Make your ideas reality.